I'm Amy Sage, and I'm here to talk about the tools section of the Junior Starter Box. So every tool section is about building your own toolkit, and these tools are to develop your internal and your external coping strategies. So for instance, the chime is our external tool, and really we're using it to calm our body, to kind of calm and settle our thoughts, and use it to focus on something. So that's the external tool that we use so that we have something that we can just kind of hone in on and slow down and sort of relax. And then the internal tool, the two that are in this box is from Mindful Miles. One is the box breathing and one is the guided imagery. And in the beginning, your child may want to take this card with them. We put it on these little rings so that in case, they want to go and take a moment and have some time and some space to reset. And each box will come with additional cards so you can keep, adding to them. And so that if anyone is feeling upset or they just need a break, they just take the cards and they go and they find a spot and they kind of take care of themselves in that way. So in the beginning, they're probably going to want to use the images to trace the boxes or read through the guided imagery. But as time goes on, you'll see that external tool, that the breathing and the calming, they'll start to just do it on their own. You might see them tracing the boxes on the table, or sometimes kids like to do it on their arms or their hands or anything like that. It's just a reminder, and it just helps kind of calm them down. So we want to move from that external tool of I need that chime to really focus to now I can just take deep breaths and I can kind of go quiet and go within, and I have these internal tools because these tools are with you all the time. So the chime will help you when you have access to it, but what we want to be developing is what can you be using all the time on the sports field, at school, when you're hanging out with your friends, when you don't have access to that external tool. And the other tool that is included is for parents. And we've also put this on a ring because we're going to add to this collection as well. Most of the time, parents have nothing but the best of intent, and unfortunately sometimes it gets lost in translation to the kid. And so after all these years of working with parents and families and hearing over and over again, I meant this, and the kid said, I heard and felt this. And so we thought maybe we could just help clarify and give some direction on maybe how to deliver it a little bit better. So for instance, this one is about if the kid comes home and says, everybody hates me, everyone's mad at me, nobody, I have no friends. Or let's say there's a sibling thing going, you're always taking their side, you're always, doing something more with them, etc. We're so quick to want to say, no, we're not, and that's not true, and blah, 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 but then we're not really validating our child's feelings, and they really genuinely feel that way. And so it's better just to replace that, like, that's not true, or that's not what's happening, with, I know it feels that way right now. And then you pause and you give them space, and you give them space to talk about it, because that's what you really want to do, is explore while they're feeling that way. And if you validate that feeling, then they don't have to be defensive and argue back about it. Then they can say, okay, I've been heard. And then you can work into calming down and problem solving. So, the most important that it comes from a genuine place. And if you're not in a good place and you don't feel like you can do it without sarcasm or without anger, then you can always model, I really want to hear about this, but I need about 3 minutes and then I'll come back. And when you do that, when you model that, taking that pause and not having that reaction and then coming back when you're calmer, then that conversation is going to be way more productive. Okay, well, that's it for the tips for the Junior Starter Box.